I bet you've never talked to somebody like me as just a body part that could be disposed of.
By your definition.
Well, by the only definition of baby that exists, yeah.
Let's cut this story real short. I'm going to tell you my position on abortion.
You won.
It took me way longer than I'd like to admit that I had the dude already in my name. But I finally figured it out. With a name like Duty, you figure out a nickname or somebody else does.
Yeah.
And you're not going to like what they come up with. So.
Yeah.
Meet Michael, one of the abolitionist founding fathers in the great state of Ohio.
So do you guys have any kind of religious affiliation?
Oh, no. Well, I'm a Dudist priest.
A Dudist priest?
Yeah.
What's that? You've referenced the Lord and God several times in our conversation, so I sense that you have a belief inside you that there is a God, right?
I think there's something out there.
Okay.
If we're being honest, I'm atheist.
Okay. Agnostic. Yeah.
Agnostic. I think there's something out there. If he's not going to let me into heaven because I don't go and pray to him every Sunday, that's not the kind of place I'd want to be anyway.
You don't have to do that.
Yeah. And that's the way I roll. So I went to Catholic school for 9 years.
So I went for longer than that, yeah.
So I got all the morals that I needed there.
Okay.
I left organized religion behind after that, but I still lived the same way that I would if I was religious.
Okay.
I just don't go to the meetings.
Other than showing up and worshiping the one true God the way he's commanded, you don't do that.
Yeah, see, I don't like that whole commanded part.
Really?
Yeah, he gave us free will, so he shouldn't be commanding us around.
Yeah, there's free will, but wouldn't the sovereign one have authority to give commands? I mean, I guess the United States is a little different, but like, don't you think the presidents and governors, don't you think they have some authority and to give commands to people in their?
Yeah, but we supposedly live in a free society.
Back up. Only if it's passed by the legislature.
Yeah, that's why, like, in our society, it's a little bit unique, but they do have some limited scope where they have authority over us, right? Like,
they
police
don't have authority over us.
Yeah.
They have authority over not even actions. It's like build the wall, okay? You can do that by executive action, okay?
Sure.
Okay, you can't tax by executive action.
Sure. I'm thinking more of a general principle that we have authority structures that exist, and we all submit to them even though we have free will.
Submit isn't the right word.
No?
But most of the authority,
Perhaps
as I'm listening to you, okay, most of the authority actions that we submit to are in the Ten Commandments.
That's good, right?
Okay?
Well, I mean, there is supposed to be separation of church and state, which...
Where does it say that?
But separation of church and state came after the Constitution, came after the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, so we're getting off the topic slightly. That's my fault.
No, that's our fault, and that's intentional.
We're leading your topic in a different direction.
I know where you're going with this, and I don't want to go to that place.
Okay,
so I'm taking a left turn to go to where I want to.
Where do you want to go?
Because you're trying to drive the conversation, and I'm uncomfortable with where you're headed because I've had that conversation a million times before.
I bet you haven't. I bet you've never talked to somebody like me that believes what I believe.
What do you believe? Okay, babies are not body parts. Explain that to me.
No, women.
No, women are not sex objects. Babies are not body parts.
Oh, is that?
So this is
stem cell research?
I don't know.
I'm out.
How abolitionists rising? Okay.
Yeah.
I know what an abolitionist is. How does that have anything to do with either of those two topics?
So for this topic in particular, this is one topic I'm here to talk about. Most people will agree that women are not sex objects. Some people won't, and those people are not really the ones that are my Signs audience, I suppose. But for the most part, everyone agrees that like women have inherent value. They shouldn't be treated as just an object for somebody else's lust. And
Okay, I wholeheartedly agree.
And then-
you're not answering my question.
yeah, and then the second part, babies are not body parts, is a reference to the fact that
We're talking about stem cell. What?
we're talking about an actual baby in the womb.
Okay.
Should not be treated as just a body
Okay.
part that could be disposed of.
By your definition.
Well, by the only definition of baby that exists, yeah.
Okay.
See, it's an embryo.
Okay.
so-
No, wait a minute. I want to know
Or a fetus,
what
sorry.
the only definition of a baby is.
Well, once a sperm and an egg come together and create a unique person,
Well, that's an embryo.
and we call it embryo at that time, it's also a baby, it's also a human being.
Okay.
That's just an embryo describes a
But that's
stage
not
of development.
A viable life if removed from the womb.
No, and your life's not viable if removed from your source of oxygen and nutrition either, is it?
No.
It doesn't mean we can kill you.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I think there's a lot of people out there that need to be killed.
You believe life.
I believe
begins
you
at
believe that.
conception.
I believe you believe that.
Or I
No,
just
you-
like being a
You believe life begins at conception.
Yes.
Okay. So in your mind, is abortion ever okay?
No.
Okay.
No, the intentional killing of that baby is never okay.
And see,
about-
now
what
you're
about
drawing
rape?
a fine line. Okay? I don't see an embryo as a baby. It's not survivable outside the womb.
Sure.
Okay?
Sure, I know you think that, yeah.
Well, I do think that. Okay?
Yeah.
You know what? You show me an embryo surviving outside of the womb, and I'll believe you.
I'm not saying embryos can survive outside the womb.
Just did.
No, I'm saying he believes that an embryo is not viable.
Gotcha.
But there were times.
No, I didn't say it wasn't viable. Okay, it's viable if left in the womb.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but it cannot survive outside of the womb.
Yeah. And what?
Okay?
Yeah.
Let's cut this story real short.
Yeah.
Okay?
I need a beer.
I'm going to tell you my position on abortion.
Okay.
Okay, you're not going to like it. All right?
He's gonna like mine even less.
But I like you guys.
Abortion
Because we can have a
Is-
conversation.
is a decision between the mother, the sperm donor, if even known, okay, the surgeon or doctor, and whatever God they answer to.
So does that apply to any other murder in our society? Your logic?
We're not talking murder.
No,
we're talking
he
abortion.
thinks-
But that's what we're talking about, murdering someone right now. We don't allow that in any context.
Murder.
No, that person's not named yet. They don't have a name. They're not a person.
Named by God.
Murder. You know what? I would have to look up the definition of murder, but I'll guarantee you, it is somebody walking around on two legs.
So we can murder a paraplegic. We can murder a person in a wheelchair.
My point
to
is,
die.
my point is, it's not my business. It's not the government's business.
Yep.
Okay? It is between the birth mama, the sperm donor, if even known, okay, the doctor, and whatever God is going to judge them, okay, on their day of judgment.
I hear you. No, I totally believe that that's what you believe.
You love
Yeah.
to say that
Yeah,
line.
that's
You've said
such
that
a fucking
about
cop-out.
20 times.
Well, do you want a response to it, or I'm
I
acknowledging
know
it?
what your response is.
Yeah, it's murder every time,
Yeah.
and it's
So
everyone's
if the
business.
mom is gonna die if she gives birth, she still has to give birth.
No. Well, if,
said every
nobody
time.
dies from giving birth,
No one dies from giving birth, but complications
but you
from
can doctors
to
can help a
kill-
woman.
People have been dying in childbirth for forever.
An abortion doesn't cure that. So you
It
can
does sometimes.
if a woman
No, it
legitimately,
does. Yes.
you can't predict that anyway, though.
Yes, you can.
You can't predict that.
Sometimes you can. I'll give you that. But sometimes it is obvious that that childbirth is an unrealistic risk.
Okay, so let me
of
give you
death for the mother.
So let me give you two options in that situation, okay? One option is, hey, I really think that you remaining pregnant is going to kill you, right? A doctor medically says, I think you die if you stay pregnant. So one option is, we're gonna reach up and we're gonna burn that baby to death or tear it apart limb from limb and then take it out and dispose
Man,
of it.
abortions have changed in the last couple of years.
That's how abortion's done.
No, he's making it.
That's how abortion's
as
done.
graphic as possible.
That's how it's done.
Oh, do we want to play as graphic as possible? I love this game.
The other option is we deliver your baby and we do the best to try to save both your lives. Why would we not go for the second option?
Because there's people that don't think the same way as you. We already discussed free will. We already discussed.
There's people that don't.
We're in a free country.
But we still have to have
people
laws.
People are allowed to do.
There's all sorts of laws in this country.
No.
There's all sorts of laws against murder, stealing, cheating on contracts.
We're not talking about murder and stealing.
Yes, we are.
We're talking about conscious choice.
We're talking about murder. You are talking about murder.
In your definition, you're talking about murder.
This isn't going anywhere.
Okay.
I'm out.
If there's no heartbeat, if that fetus
unless you want to hear a joke. You ever heard the joke, The Aristocrats?
What is it?
So this normal American family walks into a talent agency, and talent agency said, I don't do family acts. You get out. And they said, oh no, come on, we promise this is something you've never seen before. So they this talent agent says, all right, so dad.
No, I don't want to hear it.
And then the son comes over.
All right. You won. You
wanted to get graphic.
No.
And that's just the beginning.
No, I don't want to get filthy.
My right hand is full.
It was good to talk to you.
Loved the debate.
Yeah, it was good talking to you.
And that's what it was.
Burning and dismembering a child in the womb.
That's what happens. That's what happens. Have you ever watched? They show it online. You can watch abortions. Educate yourself. Seriously.
Okay, well, back in the day, it was suction.
Yeah.
All sorts of ways that are just inhumane anyway.
The best part is if you make it illegal, then women are going to go out in the back street with a coat hanger.
I don't think it will get that bad. Okay.
Yes, murder should be illegal, and
if it's a rape,
and murder should be dangerous to the perpetrator.
It is never.
Oh, a coat hanger is dangerous to the perpetrator.
Yes.
It is never going to be illegal.
Well, it was good meeting you.
California or New York.
You're probably right.
No, I know I'm right. You know I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay. Since it's been handed back to the state.
I'm not in California or New York right now. I'm just talking to you.
Well,
my concern is this.
Okay, his thing was, I was contesting his point that they'll go to the back alley. All right?
Sure.
No, they won't. They can go to New York or California because it will never be illegal.
But even if they did go
blue states.
The question is this: you don't make something legal just because people are going to do it anyway. You make illegal things illegal. So
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
The problem is you have to see the preborn as a person that you have to protect.
Okay. I did. That's why you just had the discussion with him. All right? Would I abort? No. Okay? But I wholeheartedly believe that we have freedoms, and it is a choice between the birth mother, the sperm donor, if known, the doctor, and whatever God they answer to. And on Judgment Day, if it was as horrid as what you're saying, and I'm not saying it's not horrid, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not horrid, okay? But if it's as horrid as what you say, their God will pass judgment on them for their acts of that day.
So now,
none of my business.
But so, don't you care about those people, though?
It's none of my business.
Let me ask you a question. If this guy walking up right here...
I didn't ask you a question. I made a statement.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. If this guy coming up here, if he walked up to us and said, hey, I want to murder my brother tomorrow.
Murder.
Would you say that's between you and God? Or would you try to talk him out of it?
His brother is out of the womb.
You don't know that. All he said is, I want to murder my brother.
Okay.
And your response would be, that's between you and God?
No.
Or your response would be, first tell me if he's walking and talking?
Okay, now we're back to the point I made earlier that we need a clear-cut definition of murder.
Yeah, taking a human life. And human life starts at conception.
That is not a definition of murder. I need to see in the penal code somewhere what a definition of murder is.
Well, it's in the Ohio Revised Code. It's just not applied to the preborn. You can look up the definition of murder. They just make an exception for the preborn.
All right.
And I'm saying we shouldn't, and that's what actually helps people, is teaching them that one day God is going to judge you for this, and then knowing that
You're making my point.
people can make a different decision in this life.
You're making my
No, your
point.
point is you just leave them alone to do whatever they want. I say we try to influence people to not do evil and protect
Okay.
innocent victims in the process.
That's your mission.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's your mission.
Yeah.
That's not my mission.
It's going to be your mission.
No, it's not.
It will be, I hope.
No, absolutely not. And again,
Yeah, it was good to talk to you.
I greatly enjoyed the debate.
Here, take one of my little cards. God can change both of our hearts in any direction He wishes. And I trust that He can change yours to be a defender of the preborn.
I will read this card at least 3 times to make sure that I fully understand.
Sure. And go ahead and call. We could talk about it more too, yeah.
No, I'm not calling it.
All right.
Okay. If I can't be persuaded by what's on this card, and I doubt that I will.
Okay.
Because as you can tell, I'm steadfast in my belief. Okay.
But you're an honest man. So you're going to read it 3 times because you said you would, and you're going to actually try to think about it. And I'm going to give you,
doesn't have his word, he doesn't have jack.
and I'm going to give you credit for the fact that you're going to read it with integrity.
I am.
Yeah.
No,
I appreciate that.
I'm going to read it with Sarah and Jackson, not integrity. I don't have a dog named Integrity.
I gotcha. I trust that on the last day you will have the knowledge you needed, and the Lord will do with you as He pleases.
Yes, He will, because I've never aborted, and I'm too old.
Well, go take care of your son. You brought him into this world. You got to take care of him.
I am very proud of him. Okay. I just love him to death. So thank you very much for the compliment.
Well, I liked both of you very much.
Well, I hope you have a
Even
great
despite
day,
disagreements, we're still neighbors and fellow men. So.
and we're still friends.
Yeah.
Okay. We had a spirited debate. We don't hate each other like Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.